Bruce Lee walks into a Los Angeles gym carrying a small duffel bag when a 250-pound bodybuilder looks at him and laughs. Says, "You're too small to fight." What happens in the next 10 seconds doesn't just prove the bodybuilder wrong. It changes his entire understanding of what strength really means. Los Angeles, June 1967. Tuesday afternoon, the Iron House Gym on Venice Boulevard. Not the famous Gold's Gym, not Muscle Beach. This is a serious training facility for serious lifters. No chrome equipment, no juice bar, just iron plates stacked against brick walls, wooden floors worn smooth, the air thick with chalk dust and sweat, metal clanging, grunts of maximum effort. This is where the biggest, strongest men in Los Angeles come to prove themselves. Bruce Lee pushes through the heavy door. 26 years old, 5'7", 135 pounds, wearing black training pants and a white t-shirt. By bodybuilding standards, he looks small, like someone who wandered into the wrong gym. The gym is half full, maybe 15 guys, all of them big. The smallest is probably 190. Men who measure success in pounds lifted. Men who see someone Bruce's size as irrelevant. Bruce walks to an empty corner, sets down his bag, starts warming up. Arm circles, hip rotations, leg swings. To the bodybuilders, it looks like he's wasting time. A few glance over, dismiss him immediately. Bruce continues methodical. He's not here to impress anyone. After 10 minutes, Bruce starts his actual workout, but it's not what anyone expects. He's doing bodyweight movements. One arm push-ups on his knuckles. Then he switches two-finger push-ups. His index and middle finger supporting his entire body weight. Going down slowly, pressing up explosively. Perfect control and power combined. A few more guys notice. Stop their sets. Watch with curiosity. Two-finger push-ups require real strength. Functional strength. Bruce does 20 reps, switches hands. 20 more. Doesn't look strained, just focused. Breathing controlled. Moving with precision. One of the bodybuilders nudges his training partner. Points at Bruce. They laugh. They're not impressed. They see Bruce's size and dismiss it. Think it's a trick. Think anyone could do it if they weighed as little as Bruce. Think real strength means moving heavy external weight. They go back to their bench press. Bruce moves to a heavy bag hanging in the corner. Doesn't put on gloves, just starts hitting. Bare knuckles. Straight punches. Fast. The bag swings hard. Each punch making a sharp crack sound. Not a dull thud, the sharp crack of penetration. Real power. Now more people are watching. The speed is undeniable. The bag moves like it's being hit by someone much bigger. Some of the bodybuilders look impressed despite themselves. Others remain skeptical. Think it's just technique, not strength. Think Bruce is fast but not powerful. One of the bodybuilders walks over. He's massive. 6 feet 2 inches, 250 pounds, arms like tree trunks, chest like a barrel, legs thick with muscle from years of heavy squats. His name is Mike. He's been training at this gym for 8 years. Competed in Mr. California twice. Placed 4th both times. Came close, but never quite made it to the top. Still, he's respected here. Known as one of the strongest guys around, benches 400 pounds for reps, squats 600. Deadlifts 700. By every metric bodybuilding uses to measure strength, he's elite, top tier. In his world, those numbers define what strength means, what being powerful means, what deserves respect. Mike stands near Bruce, arms crossed over his massive chest, watching, waiting for Bruce to stop hitting the bag. Bruce feels the presence, feels someone watching him, but he doesn't stop. Finishes his set, lets the bag settle, wipes sweat from his forehead with his t-shirt, turns, looks at Mike, doesn't say anything, just waits. Neutral expression, not hostile. Not friendly, just present, ready for whatever comes next. Mike says, "So, what are you training for?" His tone isn't curious. It's dismissive, challenging, like he's really asking, "Why are you taking up space in this gym? What gives you the right to be here?" Bruce says calmly, "I'm training for martial arts." Mike nods slowly. Says martial arts like he's tasting the words, testing them, finding them lacking, finding them weak. He says, "You know, martial arts is about technique, right? Not real strength. Real strength is what we do here. Moving serious weight, building real muscle, real power that you can see and measure." Bruce doesn't react, doesn't take the bait, doesn't argue, just says simply strength means different things to different people. Mike laughs, not a friendly laugh, a condescending laugh. The laugh of someone who thinks they know better, who thinks they're talking to someone ignorant, someone who doesn't understand how the real world works. He says strength means how much you can lift, how much muscle you have on your frame, how much force you can generate with your body. That's strength. That's power. Everything else is just speed and tricks. Smoke and mirrors. Other guys are watching now, starting to notice the confrontation brewing. The gym has gone quieter. Fewer weights clanging. More attention focused on this corner. People sense something happening. A challenge forming. Entertainment about to unfold. Mike continues, gaining confidence from his audience. Says, "You're what? 130-140 soaking wet." Bruce says, matter-of-factly 135. Mike laughs again. Louder now. Says, "I'm 250. Solid muscle. I bench press 400 pounds. You probably bench what? 150. Maybe 200. If you're strong for your size, that's not real strength. That's just maintaining your own body weight. Real strength is moving serious weight. Real weight, the kind that separates the strong from the weak." Bruce stays calm. Says there are different types of strength. Mike waves this away. Says, "That's just talk. Excuses for people who can't build real size." He says, "Look at you. You're too small to fight anyone my size. I could just grab you, hold you down. Your speed and technique wouldn't matter. You're too small to fight." Bruce looks at Mike, then says, "You think size equals fighting ability?" Mike says, "I know it does." Bruce says, "What if I could prove otherwise?" Mike grins, says, "You want to fight me?" Bruce shakes his head. Says, "I can show you something in 10 seconds. Show you that size isn't what matters." Mike is intrigued. Says, "Okay, show me." Bruce says, "Try to hit me." Mike laughs. Says, "You want me to try to hit you?" Bruce says, "Yes, one punch. Your best." Mike says, "I'll hurt you." Bruce says, "You won't." Mike looks around. Other guys watching. He can't back down now. Mike says, "Okay." Squares up. Takes a boxing stance. He's not a boxer, but he knows the basics. Bounces on his feet. Bruce stands relaxed, hands at his sides, not a fighting stance, just standing. Mike sees this, gets confident. The gym is silent, everyone watching. Mike takes a breath, commits, throws a right cross, his best punch, backed by 250 pounds of muscle and 8 years of training. The punch is fast, travels toward Bruce's face. Bruce moves, not away, forward and to the side. 6 inches. The punch passes where his head was. Bruce is now inside Mike's guard. Close. Too close for Mike to reset. Bruce's right hand shoots out. Open palm strikes Mike's solar plexus. Not hard, just enough. Mike's breath exits. All of it at once. His diaphragm spasms. He can't inhale. His hands drop. Go to his stomach. His mouth opens. Gasping. Nothing comes in. His face goes pale. Panic. The animal panic of suffocation. His knees buckle. Just bends forward. Hands on knees. Making small choking sounds. 10 seconds from punch to helplessness. 10 seconds to dismantle a man who outweighs Bruce by over 100 pounds. The gym is dead silent. Nobody moves. After 30 seconds, Mike's diaphragm resets. Air comes back, ragged, painful. He straightens slowly, looks at Bruce with confusion. Shock. Bruce asks if he's okay. Mike nods. Can't speak. Bruce says, "What you just experienced is the difference between strength and skill. You're strong. Really strong. You can move weight. I can't move, but fighting isn't about moving weight. It's about moving people. But fighting isn't about moving people. And people don't cooperate like barbells do. You threw a good punch, fast, powerful, but fighting isn't about landing your best punch. It's about not letting your opponent land theirs. It's about position, timing, understanding how bodies move. I struck a nerve cluster that paralyzes breathing. Doesn't require massive force, just precision." Mike finds his voice. Says, "That's a trick." Bruce says, "There are no tricks in fighting. Only things that work and things that don't. What I did works. What you believe that size equals fighting ability doesn't work," Mike says. "But in a real fight," Bruce says, "I just did it. In front of 15 witnesses in 10 seconds. Mike has no answer. Bruce says, "I'm not trying to humiliate you. I'm trying to teach you. There's a difference between gym strength and functional strength. You've built an impressive physique, but you've never learned how to use it in combat. Bruce says, "If you want to learn, I can teach you." Mike looks surprised. Says, "You teach me after I said you were too small." Bruce says, "Yes, because you learned something in the last 10 seconds. You learned you don't know what you thought you knew. That's the first step to real learning. Humility. Most people never get there. You just did." Mike is quiet, then says, "Okay, teach me." Bruce says, "Not today. You need to recover. Your nervous system got shocked. Go home. Process this. If you still want to learn, come to my school next week. June Fan Gung Fu Institute in Oakland." Mike takes the card, nods, still shaken, but intrigued. 1 week later, Mike shows up at Bruce's school in Oakland, nervous, out of place. The school is different from his gym, smaller, more focused, less about show and more about substance. Bruce sees him walk through the door, smiles, genuinely pleased. Says, "You came. That takes real courage." Mike says quietly, "I want to understand what you did. Want to learn what I don't know." Bruce nods. Says, "Good. That's the right mindset. Let's start." Bruce doesn't start with techniques. Doesn't jump into teaching punches or kicks or throws. Starts with concepts. The foundation explains the difference between static strength and dynamic strength. Between isolated muscle development and integrated body mechanics, between pure tension and relaxed power, between raw force and precise timing. Mike listens carefully, takes notes in a small notebook he brought, asks questions when he doesn't understand. He's used to instruction, used to coaches telling him how to lift, how to pose, how to structure his diet for maximum muscle growth. But this is different. This isn't about building size. It's about building capability, about making the body work as a unified system instead of a collection of individual muscles. The training over the following months is deeply humbling for Mike. He realizes quickly how much unnecessary tension he carries in his body, how his years of bodybuilding have made him strong but rigid, how his impressive size is actually a limitation in ways he never considered. He's slow to change positions, burns enormous amounts of energy, maintaining constant muscle tension even when it's not needed, telegraphs his movements from a mile away because he's used to maximum effort lifts where the setup doesn't matter, where you just grip it and rip it. Bruce works with him patiently, never mocking, never condescending, just teaching, breaking down his deeply ingrained movement patterns, teaching him how to move efficiently, how to generate explosive power without excessive muscle engagement, how to actually fight instead of just looking like he could fight. Over months, Mike transforms. Not physically. He's still 250 pounds, still massive, still looks like a professional bodybuilder, but he moves differently now. Lighter on his feet, faster in transitions, more controlled in every action. He learns to use his size properly, not as a crutch to rely on, as a tool to employ strategically. Combined with proper technique, his natural size becomes devastating. He's still not as fast as Bruce, never will be. Bruce's speed is the product of a lifetime of training. But Mike becomes effective, dangerous, capable. A 250 pounds man who can actually fight is a serious problem for anyone. Mike becomes that problem. One day, Bruce tells Mike something important. Says, "When we first met, you dismissed me because I was small, but you were open enough to learn after being proven wrong. That's rare. Most people's ego won't allow it." Mike asks why Bruce didn't humiliate him. Bruce says because I've been dismissed too. Told I'm too Chinese, too small, too different. I could have used that moment to feel superior. But that doesn't help anyone. Teaching you helps you. Helps me. Helps everyone you'll eventually teach. Bruce says, you'll go back to your gym. Tell them what you learned. Some will dismiss it like you did.